In the Old Testament, Abraham is referred to by a few different people as being a friend of God. In James chapter 2 and verse number 23, the Bible tells us that Abraham believed God and it was imputed unto him for righteousness. And the last part of the verse, though, says, and he was called the friend of God. The word friend there is capitalized. I'd never noticed that before. What's the significance of that? Well, in the Old Testament, they're referring to him, kind of like you would refer to, the position that I hold as a pastor is, it would be pastor with a lowercase p. But if you're talking to me, and a name given to me is pastor with a capital P. And that's how I see what's happening in James chapter 2 and verse number 23, that's his name. That's how James refers to him, as friend of God. And I believe it's in the Word of God. I believe that's the way that God even refers to him, as friend of God. And that got me to thinking this morning, what does God call me? What is the name, if we could say nickname, that God has given me? I'm afraid for most of my life it was Knucklehead, with a capital knuckle. But what does he call you? I want to challenge you with that thought. The reason that Abraham was called friend of God, as we see there, is that he just believed God and it was imputed unto him for righteousness. It was about his walk with the Lord. What's your walk with the Lord? What does God call you? Can he look at you and say, you're my friend? Can he look at you and call you friend of God? Can he call you man of God, woman of God with a capital? I would be satisfied in my life if the Lord looked at me and said, servant boy. That would be okay if that's the title that he gave me. But what do you see that God calls you? Y'all have a wonderful day.